the bench was a disciplined and very principled judge who attended his judicial duties diligently. His lordship is very stylish and has an excellent dress sense and was a perfect judicial officer with the utmost integrity, respectability, and honor. My Lord is also a strong believer in hard work and diligence, and very early on lived by the biblical injunction implicit in Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 10, that whatever your hand finds to do it with your mind. His Lordship also invites the children in the words of Colin Hart, who stated that a dream does not really become a reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. Consequently, his Lordship has always displayed the highest level of tenacity of purpose, diligence, and hard work. Honorable Justice Tinuade Akomolafe-Wilson began his career as a Pupil State Counsel in 1975 as a youth proper in the Edo State Ministry of Justice. After the compulsory 1 year of national assignment, his Lordship gained employment at the Ministry of Justice in Edo State as a Pupil State Counsel. By dint of diligence, dedication to duty, and determination, his Lordship rose to the position of Principal State Counsel Grade 1 in the Ministry of Justice, Ondo State in 1980. Before his Lordship, obviously under some I think I'll skip that. Before his Lordship transferred his services back to the State Ministry of Justice as a Principal State Counsel, Grade 1 in 1983. That was arguing. My Lord's belief in hard work and diligence propelled his Lordship to the position of Director of Civil Investigation from 1988 to 1990. Thereafter, the Director of Public Prosecution from 1990 to 1996, after which his Lordship was appointed as Solicitor General from 1996 to 1998. His Lordship served as the Solicitor General and Director General, while simultaneously functioning as Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice from 1996 to 1998, which is the first and the only time the same person has held both offices at the same time. It was therefore not surprising that my Lord was elevated to the High Court bench in Nigeria in 1999, and in 2012, his Lordship was elevated to the Court of Appeal, where his Lordship continued to display the same charismatic spirit of diligence and hard work, and served meritoriously until retirement in October 2020. His Lordship's legendary reputation for diligence, integrity, confidence, commitment, and courage were honed at the Ministry of Justice, remain today the high ideals which have inspired subsequent generations of law. Honorable Justice Tinuade Akomolafe-Wilson is an epitome of propriety and formality. His Lordship was a brilliant and erudite jurist who is a known stickler for the true traditions of the bar and the bench. His Lordship always exhibited his resourcefulness and industry in all his judicial assignments, and brought his wealth of experience as well as his vast and intricate understanding of the law and rules of law to bear in the judgments delivered in matters before the court. His Lordship's performance did not go unnoticed, thereby endearing him to be sought after and appointed to serve in various tribunals, amongst which were Chairman Edo State Correctional Education Tribunal 2002, Membership / Legislative Election Tribunal 2003, Member, Governorship and Legislative Election Tribunal Imo State 2003, Member, Governorship and Legislative Election Tribunal Ondo State 2004, Member, Governorship and Legislative Election Tribunal Abuja 2007, Chairman, Governorship and Legislative Election Tribunal Cross River State 2008-2009. As a judicial officer, his Lordship was bold and fearless and delivered several landmark judgments on various subjects. His Lordship's judgments are a model of lucidity, thereby portraying clearly the wisdom in the words of the Lord when it stated that justice is the first virtue of those who command. As of principal question at issue is or is likely to be that of the construction of the written law. My Lord, in the case of Owolabi and Federal Republic of Nigeria, citation also provided, while being called upon to decide on the position of the law, where the party raises an objection to the hearing of a charge by sitting chairman of the Code of Conduct Tribunal, and while relying on the case of Saleh and Monguno, citation provided, tells us a breach of the principle of fair hearing vitiates or nullifies the whole proceeding. Fair hearing under the Constitution envisages that the court of tribunal hearing the party case is fair and impartial, without showing any form of bias or likelihood of bias against the party. The appellant must therefore be subjected to unfair trial on the ground that, as presently constituted, it is the only tribunal that can try the appellant. On no account can the right to a fair hearing be waived or dispensed with, even at the expense of a speedy trial. On the whole, having regard to the circumstances of this case, I am of the fervent view that the chairman excuses himself from hearing the charge against the appellant. In the meantime, the charge should be struck out, pending when the tribunal is constituted with another chairman. His Lordship's career as a state counsel and on the bench has been an inspiration to state counsel in the Ministry of Justice, as it reminds us all of the time-held belief in the certainty of reward for hard work, perseverance, and tenacity of purpose. Today, the State Council are building on the solid foundation of excellence your Lordship graciously laid, which is summarized in the words of John Quincy Adams when he stated that if your actions inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. We appreciate my Lord for being a leader, a shining example, and for setting the pace. It was Marcus Tullius Cicero who once said, "For there is but one essential justice which cements society, and one law which establishes this justice. This law is right reason, which is the true rule of all commandments and prohibitions. Whoever neglects this law, whether written or unwritten, is necessarily unjust and wicked." Honorable Justice Tinuade Akomolafe-Wilson's immense contributions to the growth and development of the bar and bench was born out of good reason and the commitment to see a better justice delivery system. And I'm of the firm belief that those dreams will continue to be realized in your Lordship's lifetime. We congratulate your Lordship on attaining this milestone and thank your beloved spouse and our colleague, Michelangelo Wilson Esquire, your lovely children, two of whom are members of the legal profession, your grandchildren, and every member of your Lordship's family for their love and support and for being a part of your Lordship's journey. The official bar is very proud of your Lordship and we take pride in and share in your accomplishments. The government and people of Edo State are grateful to your Lordship for being a worthy ambassador of the state through your Lordship's excellent and meritorious service. We are optimistic that as this new chapter unfolds, it will be filled with even more testimonies of greater accomplishments, sound health, and greater wisdom. In conclusion, it only remains to wish my Lord, the Honorable Justice Tinuade Akomolafe-Wilson, a peaceful, most fulfilling, and accomplished life in retirement. I thank your Lordship.
Thank you, learned Solicitor General and PS Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Take a little bit of pause. Some writings are to be sent to shortly. But while waiting for the right, all the dignitaries that are duly acknowledged. You will forgive me, please, that I will not mention names because even though I've served in this division once, I never got round to pronouncing names properly. Just like many people then couldn't pronounce my own name properly. My Lord the celebrant will tackle that aspect of the introduction or acknowledgement of dignitaries in her, I don't know how many pages judgment that she's going to deliver. However, I, like I said, I've seen highly dignified chiefs and persons enter. We salute all of you. I will, however, announce that a team of our brothers came in one after the other. They consist of Honorable Justice Stephen Jonah Ada, JCA, representing the Honorable President of the Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice P.O. Ige, JCA, Honorable Justice B.Y. Ninfa, JCA, and Honorable Justice E.O. Williams Dowdy, JCA. My lords, I cannot but know how to pronounce their names because we have been together for so long. My lords, the chief judges will forgive me for not mentioning them by name because I don't want to murder your name, as it were. So, having explained myself a bit, we will proceed to the next item on the program, and this is where you will see that I am not very good at names. The next person to present a speech is Kola Oke Aya, Ini, S-A-N. I hope Lane Silk is here, so we await his speech. Well, I have been well advised, and advice is taken that we address the court sitting. Please take your seat. I think it used to happen those days. So we hear when FRA sits down to address the court. So there's nothing unusual about it. Please let us hear your speech. And press people, you will let us see the face of Landison Advocate. Don't cover him. We are not here to look at your backs. Yes, before he starts, I think an addendum. I've been well informed, and I must recognize that fact that he is the chairman body of senior advocates of Edo State. That senior advocates, I think everything is now complete. So you can fire on. Thank you.
My lords, I'm grateful already for the commission committee. Everything to see that just happened. I crave your humble indulgence to observe the protocol already able given to this I consider it a great honor and privilege to deliver this valedictory address on this occasion of the retirement of the Court of Appeal bench of this philosophy, Honorable Justice T. Akomolafe-Wilson. Today's happy event marks the height of a very significant period in the records of the judiciary. Also, it has gone into history as one of the greatest days in the history of the Akomolafe-Wilson. Time and time, and brilliantly narrated by himself without any form of exaggeration, which I think is a hard to be presented to the public later today. However, my Lord, I can speak of his work as a judicial officer, even about the considerable mark he made in legal practice in different positions before he was appointed to the bench. He was called to the Nigerian bar, my Lord, 45 years ago, and started up legal practice with the Ministry of Justice, where he held different positions. First as a People's State Council, and rose in the rank and file to the Director of Public Prosecution in the Fort Bender State in 1990. During that period, my Lord, it was all about civil and criminal practice. The fact that hard was paid, he was promoted to the position of Solicitor General, which, my Lord, Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Edo State between 1996 and 1996. Then he closed that chapter as the Permanent Secretary and Solicitor General of Edo State in the year 1996. Those positions, my Lord, no doubt, prepared him for a job that both civil and criminal laws are his almost education. 21 years ago, Lordship Honorable Justice Tinuade Akomolafe-Wilson was appointed to the bench of the Edo State Judiciary as a judge of the High Court of Justice. And in accordance with the judicial oath, he took to discharge his duties and perform his function honestly, to the best of his ability and faithfully, in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law. Also, I have no doubt in my mind that he abided with the Code of Conduct, with the fifth schedule, to the Constitution. The hearing and determination of cases brought before her that have improved the legal of areas of as a judicial officer, I distinguished himself and proved that he had a good beginning. This prepared him responsibility and as serve as the chairman of the group, chairman member, governorship delegate, and the SCT. We are sure that he's not above the law, put people in the words of Thomas Fuller. Be you never so high, the law is above. When the news of the elevation of my Lord, Honorable Justice T. Akomolafe-Wilson to the Court of Appeal came to me in 2012, it was not surprising. But my Lord, knowing fully well that his previous job and national assignment had prepared him to meet these challenges ahead. Not an indolent judge at all, but hard work, which was characterized with candor and planning. The decisions as published in the law report is problem for those politicians have the opportunity to raise some of those things, which I consider discerning or judicial. The Lord has already underscored a few of the judgments delivered that develop legal principles. In those judgments, he made notable impact in the judiciary by being diligent on the applications of the rule of law with its great intellectual capacity. The judicial works, however, did not drown the other notable aspects of his life. His family life was not toiled. For they are as great as was. They achieved, my Lord. The progress we are making today. Permit me to salute the husband of my Lord, Mr. Wilson, and his children for their cooperation, love, and care during the years of Johnson, Justice, Tinuade Akomolafe-Wilson was in the service of the King and the clear and Bishop. My lords, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening and for joining me to bid goodbye to the Margaret, that great armies of Britain, Margaret Thatcher of Israel. Those of us who are privileged, bring over and study over we know and what Mrs. Margaret Thatcher was and what Justice Akomolafe-Wilson from the bench of the Court of Appeal. I cannot say this, my Lord. At this conclusion, I remember to state, my Lord, that my late close friend, Anthony, our friend, of me. I am your young of the Benin Bank. The oldest. Therefore, my Lord, I'm not only qualified, but I'm confident to say this is Tinuade is that proud as a structure. We are all proud.
Thank you, learned senior advocate of Nigeria and chairman body of senior advocates Edo State. I continue to get updates and I'm going to update you accordingly. Gentlemen and ladies of distinction, an update that I have for you includes the presence of His Excellency Governor Wike of Rivers State and entourage. Governor Wike is a lawyer of no mean stature, and I think it's even a life venture. Is welcome. We thank you for finding time to grace this occasion, and we really thank you for the people you have brought along. I cannot but also mention whether I know how to pronounce names properly, that the celebrant who I was going to pass the, or I have already passed the duty to, said I must specially welcome Chief Gabriel Ibinedon, a Sama of Benin. Your Highness, you are very, very welcome. Then also, I have the pleasure of welcoming His Royal Highness, the Onoje of Okoji. Your Highness, you are welcome. Thank you. We proceed by saying that I have been looking around, trying to locate my Lord Omage, a gentleman to the core. But you know, this face mask makes it difficult. In my early days in the Court of Appeal, I served under him. You must always recognize those who mentored you. I wouldn't know whether my Lord, I've seen his name. Can just, oh, I have identified my Lord by the nod of the head. My Lord, you are very welcome. This is the little chap you are mentoring in Enugu when you were there. It's a pleasure to see you, my Lord. We will proceed by calling on the next um, speaker, as it were, to deliver the speech. The name I have here is Pius Oiwo, Esquire, Chairman, Nigerian Bar Association, Benin branch. Well, that makes him to be my learned friend. My learned friend, we call on you to deliver your speech. Thank you.
Much obliged, my Lord. My Lord, the presiding justice at this event, my Lord, Justice Seji of the Supreme Court, other justices of the Court of Appeal here present, my Lord, the Chief Judge of Edo State, Honorable Justice Esther Menagawa Edije. My Lord, permit me to adopt the protocol list already established. May I use this opportunity to thank my Lord, the Honorable Justice Monica Dongban Nelson, President of the Court of Appeal, for the invitation extended to members of the Nigerian Bar Association to the valedictory session in honor of your learned brother, retired Honorable Justice Tinuade Akomolafe-Wilson, Justice of the Court of Appeal, who retired. I'm indeed privileged to speak on this auspicious occasion on behalf of the Nigerian Bar Association, which has hosted one of the oldest divisions of the Court of Appeal, and indeed the other branches of the NBA in Edo State. While I intend to keep this address short and simple, I will also not be fulfilling my mandate on the altar of brevity. I sacrifice details on the life of a great gentleman in skirt who has spent the better part of his adult life doing justice to all, regardless of status, tribe, or religion. May I state for the record that it is my view that no greater honor can be done to a mortal than being a judge. It is a thing of great responsibility to sit in judgment over fellow men, human beings, for this elevates one to the enviable status of taking the role of God on earth. It is for this reason that we are all gathered here today to celebrate a lady of great distinction and hard work. May I on this occasion wish my Lord, the celebrant, a happy birthday. I will use my speech to take a stock of the life and times of the celebrant today and run a quick diagnostic procedure on the state of our country. As it is customary in an occasion like this, we trace the life of our celebrant, not because her profile is not already in the public domain, but to show and demonstrate to all that hard work, integrity, perseverance, and a sound understanding of the law are still legitimate tools for attaining success in the legal profession. My Lord was born 70 years ago, precisely on the 18th day of October 1950, and went through the initial discipline of primary school education in Omodewa local government school from 1957 to 1962. Thereafter, the quest for secondary education took him to Queen's College, a school, Ede 3 to 1967, and further to Christ School, Ado-Ekiti, between 1968 to 1969, and thereafter to the Great University of Ife between 1970 to 1974. The foundation gained through this course motivated his lordship to pursue the professional course of the Nigerian Law School, Lagos, pursuant to which he was called to the Nigerian bar in 1975. In 1986, my Lord, in his quest for knowledge, proceeded to the Nigerian Institute of Advanced Legal Studies, Lagos. Between 1975 and 1988, my Lord was at various times a People's State Council, then Senior State Council and Principal State Council with the Ministries of Justice in Ondo State and later with the defunct Bender State. He rose to become a Director of Civil Litigation with the Ministry of Justice, defunct Bender State in 1988, and the Director of Public Prosecutions, the defunct Bender State in 1990. Between 1992 to 1996, my Lord was the Solicitor General stroke Director General of Edo State. In 1996, he also functioned as the Attorney General of Edo State, a role which he discharged creditably until 1998. In 1998, he became Permanent Secretary and Solicitor General of the Edo State Ministry of Justice, a role he discharged delightfully till he was appointed a judge of the High Court, that's the Edo State Judiciary, in 1999. As a judge, he was at different times appointed to hold various positions, including Chairman of the Edo State Kerosene Explosion Tribunal, a full-time member of the Governorship Legislative Election Tribunal, Abuja, member of the Governorship Legislative Election Tribunal, Imo, member of the Governorship Legislative Elections Tribunal, Adamawa State, member of the Governorship Legislative Election Tribunal, Ondo State, and the chairman of the Governorship Legislative Elections Tribunal, Cross River State. It was in the recognition of my Lord's stern work and erudite knowledge of the law, coupled with a far-reaching career as a distinguished public servant, that my Lord was deservedly elevated to the Court of Appeal, where he served in various divisions, including Abuja and the Benin divisions. My Lord has also attended many conferences and seminars within and outside the country, which have enhanced his knowledge and service in the judiciary. While as a High Court judge, his Lordship served in various judicial divisions in Edo State, where he decided so many cases and courageously made landmark pronouncements, and wrote his name in the annals of legal history and growth of our jurisprudence. Notable of these are the case of Tony Abumere Okonigene versus the governor of Edo State and two others, decided on the 16th of May 2012. That is the suit number is herein provided. His Lordship, as a judicial activist and courageous judge, entered judgment against the state government and its agents and held thus. The said self-induced circumstances warranting the issuance of Exhibit C for the elongation of the tenure of the caretaker committee, therefore, is a farce. A mirage has been created by an appeal merely placed in the Court of Appeal without any intention to pursue same. There are no such circumstances whatsoever in existence. The said appeal has become a delusion, giving the first and second defendants a false impression, whether deliberate or otherwise, an opportunity to contravene the provision of Section 7.1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria by elongating indefinitely the tenure of the caretaker committees of the local government in Edo State, albeit for the purpose of public peace and good order of the state. It is an unjustifiable excuse. It is pertinent to note that Exhibit C, which granted the extension of the tenure of the local government transition committee, must have been made pursuant to an amendment to Section 10.4.1 of the Local Government Amendment Law 2002. Accordingly, I hereby use the blue pencil rule to strike down the provision of Section 3 of the Local Government Amendment Law number 2 of 2002, which empowers the first defendant, that is the governor of Edo State, to appoint for each of the local government area a transition council for such period of time it shall take the state independent electoral commission to conduct local government election in the state, and the inauguration of the councils as unconstitutional, invalid, null and void ipso facto. The resolution of the second defendant made, that is the House of Assembly, made as it is sitting on Wednesday, the 1st of June 2011, in Exhibit C, ought to be consequently declared as unconstitutional, invalid. I also hereby grant an order of injunction restraining the second defendant from further granting an extension of the appointment of the tenure of the Local Government Transition Crown Committee in Edo State for the first defendant. His Lordship also held and entered judgment for the downtrodden and the common people, including indigent and oppressed members of the society. In Etinosa Odige versus Clifford Odige, citation is herein provided, wherein judgment was delivered on the 7th of June 2010. His Lordship, while restating the concept of Igube, held thus: it is my view that the extent of what property constitutes an Igube depends on use with which the deceased party during his. This is discernible decided authorities on this issue. Contrary to this, for me to suggest that the land in dispute is used to the principal house where the deceased lived and died. On the other hand, undisputed evidence before me by both parties is that the land rented out by the deceased showmaker, who was paying him 800 naira per month. It is also my finding that the entrance to the main house is quite different from that of the land in dispute. The totality of the documentary evidence, Exhibit B and C, the litigation survey plan, and the evidence of PW2 and PW1, the surveyor, with the evidence of PW1, which I have analyzed earlier, show that the land in dispute is distinguishable and does not form part of the deceased Igbo, even though they are all in the same compound. It then means that the disputed land can therefore be excised and shared. Issue 1 in is accordingly hereby resolved in favor of the plaintiff. This matter was decided in favor of our late, very learned colleague, Chief Alfred Robert. His lordship was also versed in criminal law and has demonstrated in-depth knowledge and competence in this area, which in fact uh, dominated his job at the Ministry of Justice. He rose to the position of DPP and later Solicitor General. He was also in charge of his court and put lawyers who appeared before him to task, as they needed to prepare so well for their matter each time they knew they were appearing before Honorable Justice Tinuade Akomolafe-Wilson. In a judgment delivered on the 5th of day of April 2012, the citation is herein provided, the state versus Ikenu Aliu and another. This lordship held thus: the act of the second accused person by shooting PW1 with a gun is more than mere preparation for the commission of the offense of murder. It is actually the physical manifestation, the actus reus, of carrying out his plan to kill. PW1 can be regarded as being lucky that he did not die from the gunshot. I do not agree with Mr. Agbato that there is insufficiency of evidence to suggest that the injury sustained by PW1 is life-threatening. The medical report Exhibit K confirms in hospital for 5 days, and it states that the pellet is still lodged in the buttock of PW1. It has been held severally that proof beyond reasonable doubt does not mean proof beyond every shadow of doubt. I am of the strong view that, having regard to the evidence before me, the cause of justice will be defeated if the second accused person is allowed to escape the hands of the law, to wit, attempted murder, merely because the medical expert did not state the inquiry might have killed him, that the with a gun at close range, as shown by evidence, shows without any doubt whatsoever that the intent of the assailant was to kill PW1. It is reiterated that PW1 has left in that because of the assailant thought he was in fact already dead. I also agree with the prosecuting Assistant Chief State Counsel, Mrs. Tessie Egeabi, that the defense of the second accused person is totally denial of the crime. His defense is very porous. It is concocted story made in the bid to escape from the hands of the law. My Lord, since elevation to the Court of Appeal, has also made several judicial pronouncements, which are now reference points and research materials to law students and lawyers. For sake of time, permit me to cite just one of such authorities, which is the case of Kano against Minister of the FCT and another, where his lordship delivered a late judgment, restating the principle of statute bar action. And I quote, where an action for determination is whether a claim is statute barred, the first step for a trial court is to determine when the cause of action arose. The period of limitation of an action is determined by examining the applicable limitation law to see the period stipulated for the claim. The judge then determines when the cause of action arose by examining the plaintiff's pleadings. If the time between when the cause of action arose to when the writ of summons expired is beyond the stipulated period in the enabling statute, the action is statute barred. It behoves on me at this juncture to deviate a bit from running a needle through the life and times of my Lord to draw lessons from his life, which will be instructive today for all of us. From the CV of my Lord, which we have all read and heard here, it will be clear to all that my Lord rose to become the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Justice and a High Court judge, all before the age of 50 years. While this elevation was no doubt due to my Lord's sterling qualities and hard work, it was also in no small measure because he had opportunities to distinguish himself. Can we beat our chest in this court now and say these same opportunities are afforded to our youths and young lawyers today? Of course, the answer to this question is known to all. We must go back to the days of rewarding competence and distinction if we are to gain the winning trust of our teeming youth. My Lord's life is a testament of one who took opportunities and excelled in those roles with distinction. We cannot keep on complaining about our youth not being ready to or being lazy if we don't give them the opportunity. We are currently at the stage of altering the 1999 Constitution for the 5th time. Lest this alteration becomes a jamboree of every National Assembly, if it is time for us to take advantage of this alteration period to operate true federalism in the real sense of the word. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended provides for not less than 49 justices of the Court of Appeal. We have recently elevated 8 justices to the Supreme Court, including my Lord here, Honorable Justice Seji. And my Lord here, who is retiring, our celebrant. There are at least 9 vacant slots on the Court of Appeal bench. Are we not putting too much pressure on our justice system if we do not fill these slots in good time, thereby eroding justice in the judiciary due to the slow pace of cases, which is through no fault of the hardworking justices? My lords, we must find a way to make sure we do not handicap the courts due to shortage of personnel to the extent that they are not able to properly function. The wheels of justice grind slowly, but surely it's a common saying, but these wheels need to be lubricated so they do not break down. It is on this note that we reiterate our call that the pay of justices must be looked into. For over 12 years, there has been no review of the salary of judges, including justices. Yet, in that same period, the Naira has lost over 200% of its value. The life of a judge is a sacrifice. We must not plunge our justices and judges into hunger, as a hungry person has no conscience. The place of financial autonomy for the judiciary in achieving this is not lost on us. So we once again ask the executive, I'm glad His Excellency the Governor of Rivers State is here, and to the other arms of government too, so that they can breathe very well, freely, that Nigerians can liberate in the air of true freedom, which is the hallmark of democracy. In the wake of the heightened insecurity in our state and our nation, which affects and undermines the administration of justice, economic development, among others, as our homes, workplaces, communities, and highways are no longer safe. Only recently, the BNIBA and the Nigerian Medical Association, Edo State Branch, held a joint press conference to decry the rising state of insecurity, ranging from armed robbery, kidnapping, and court killings in our dear state. While throwing our weight to the actualization of state police and the concept of community policing, the bar will continue to appeal to the governments at all levels to do all that they can to improve the security and lives of the security of lives and properties of citizens, which is their primary responsibility. The hijack of the NSAS protest by criminal elements also led to jailbreak and attack on police stations, other public institutions, and private businesses, which the bar has repeatedly condemned on different fora. Consequently, we hereby appeal to the Edo State government to graciously extend the amnesty period of return of escapees from correctional centers for at least 2 weeks to enable the escapees willing to return to the custody to do so without penal consequences. We are hopeful that many will return. We similarly call on the Edo State government to prevail on the Edo State Police Command to urgently dismantle the roadblocks in front of the DSS and the Police Command headquarters, which is most unnecessary and indeed is the primary cause of untold hardship to members of the public, to commuters, as this singular act is responsible for huge traffic experienced for several weeks in the GRA, Airport Road, and its environment. My Lord, the celebrant, you have had a distinguished career, which only few can aspire, but we ask that you do not go home with the biblical old, a very old prophet Simeon, that is, that you do not go home as the biblical very old prophet Simeon did when he said, Nunc dimittis, servum tuum domine, secundum verbum tuum in pace, quia vedurunt oculi mei, salutare tuum. Lord, now let thy servant depart in peace, according to the word. For mine eyes have seen the salvation of our God. A great man of God, whom God has assured will not see death until he sees Christ, whom he eventually saw at the dedication of infant Jesus. We want you around always and wish to learn from your experiences and your perspectives on issues. Please do not hoard your knowledge as some Nigerians will do. You can write memoirs, so we, the upcoming generation, can draw lessons from your life to make more informed decisions for the future. Before I exceed my brief, may I say that my Lord does not look 70 at all. I told my Lord as much when we had the walk about a week ago at the commencement of the legal year for the Edo State Judiciary. To mark, yes, that my Lord is looking actually 16. Yes. Yes, sir. I dare say we miss you, but I know that wherever you go, you call, whenever we call on you, you will be ready to respond to us. Even as we will miss you, your brood of grandchildren will be the happiest that their beloved grandma is temporarily done with national assignments and is ready to shower them with love and care as only a grandmother can. We wish my Lord well in his retirement and ask that he remains at alert as he has been sent to serve on reserve bench, not full retirement as he hopes. May I, on behalf of the bar, wish my Lord the celebrant, who indeed is a loving mother and wife, a devout Catholic, well with good health and God's sustained grace. May I also welcome the numerous well-wishers. I see very Reverend Father Richard Ofiri, my rector at the minor seminary here too. And I wish you well, and may I also welcome the numerous well-wishers who have stormed on our ancient city of Benin to felicitate with my Lord on this great event of his retirement. Please enjoy the hospitality of our people in the land where the king is truly king. Thank you, my Lord.
Well, everybody here present, I would not know whether my learned friend exceeded his brief or time for his brief, but we will go to that under response. It's now time for the celebrants of the day to let us into so many aspects of our life that we never knew. Everybody knows date of birth and all those things. I hear that you can even get that from the internet, but there are really some things we do not know about her that she's going to disclose shortly. And how learned chairman of the bar saw my Lord as 16 years old. she's going to disclose it. So I beg that we sit down, we continue to sit down and hear my Lord, the celebrant, my Lord, former Justice of the Court of Appeal, give us a broader insight into his Lordship's life. Thank you, my Lord.
I embrace and reaffirm the existing protocols established by the presiding justice. However, let me look my Lord Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice Safety, the President of the Court of Appeal, represented by Tinuade, Your Excellency, the Governor of River State, my brother Justices, the Chief Judge of the State, the Editing, the Detaching Judge of the State, the Tinuade, Third Justice of the Appeal, Systematic, um, the Esama of Humane coming here personally. I recognize the Oyote of Okoji and Enidame. First, that's the Oyote Okoji, Royal Majesty, their husband, you. Mine. The spiritual, I recognize the spiritual royal fathers, my family members. Fortunately, effectively, those people with us, but we don't appear before us, I want to get into the presented senior practitioners of our prayer program. Let me go to the course of time. Like I said, we are farmed the existing protocols established by the society. My brother justices that came from Abuja, so you entry, God bless you. So I need to keep all the time with you as I say. This is an important chapter of my life as I exit the judiciary, which I served for 15 years. I've come to see the judiciary as a home and platform through which I make my own contribution to the national development translation of the law. I was born in Lagos when we had 18th of October. The family of Valedictory Akomolafe is now 103 and a half years old, hale and hearty. And it is comfortable to take Akomolafe near Hawkeye. My father's parents, Daniel Akomolafe of the Local Public, and Madam Dr. Akomolafe of the of both lawyer associates. At the time I was born, my father was a distinguished teacher, a distinguished master in University College, Lagos. He obtained his Bachelor of Arts degree in English from the United Kingdom and later a postgraduate certificate in education in Rwanda. He was a pioneer principal of the Paraport College in Lagos, first chairman of the Local Government Council, later member of the Parliament in 1959, chairman of the Secretary Service Commission of Western Region of Church in Nigeria. He was amongst other appointments in the University time, the chairman of the University Region from 1973 to 1999 when the first heart surgery in Africa was approved. My mother, Mrs. Comfortable Akomolafe, came from the Riara Quarters in Sabon Gida Ora, the state. Her mother, Madam my maternal grandfather was educated and a very successful businessman. I think my grandfather, and like a lawyer, that they are my parents. My mother, a teacher, was one of the first women to be educated in Nora. Nora Khan, the University of Nigeria. She was a sweet, industrious, kind-hearted woman. Faithfully, in Boston, Nigeria. I believe she's an important of the Lord. Succeeding for her children. Yes, it was only a few months after her demise that the 50p of industry one of the largest at times to live in. In 1955, the Akomolafe family relocated from Lagos to Ido. And when I started my primary school, we were very school to get to school those days was one of the best. Growing up under my parents, the family to the Christian faith serious. Going to church was not free. My mother was a Sunday school, while my father was one of the frontline leaders of family. My values were shaped by the lessons I learned from Bible stories and other injunctions in the Bible. It was a strict linear approach that my parents adopted while we were children. Growing up in a Yoruba environment meant learning the cultural values of respect for elders and upholding the family virtues and values. In that culture, shame and reproach must not be taught to the family. My father made it clear to all his children that he had no choice but to be perfect. Excellent was his family culture, and cutting a corner was what I touched. The legacy to be handed to every child was not going to be land and property, but education, which gives the child a platform for the fulfillment of destiny. I learned very early in life that in order to make a meaningful living, I needed a combination of diligence, hard work, and teamwork. Well, after that, I went to grad school. Um, and in grad school, fortunately, I won John F. Kennedy as a content. By dint of hard work, I passed my HSC. My father insisted that I apply to the great University of Ife, and that's the only university I must attend. So I attended great university, now back in Angola University. He was the teacher, and he knew that that was one of the best universities in Nigeria. When I compared my higher school, while waiting for admission, I worked briefly at WNPS in Badger, the youth presenter. My initial prepared course of study was French. I used to study French before going to law. However, my father encouraged me to read law directly, having planned to read law himself. I had even brought some law school, bought some law textbooks, but on account of his eagerness to return to his family in Nigeria, his dream did not materialize. Hence, I transferred from the French department and commenced in law in 1921, which I successfully completed in 1924. Well, I went to the law school. I passed in 1997, 1974. Some of my close friends there were Lorena Efe, Tinuade, ACA, Tinuade Koya, Tinuade, Tinuade Tinuade, Titi Ilogu, Advocate, Senator Mike Adebu, Dr. Victor Patoni, Tinuade CA, Timotani Anifowose, Dr. Bode Driver, DSC, Dr. Kumar Akaz, DSC retired, Dr. Zakaye, Mr. Mabudi, Dayo Zakaye, Dr. Oseji, several. I passed the qualifying examination in 1905. Throughout the period of my law training in the university, I spent most of my holidays productively at the chambers of Chief Barbara. He remained one of my foremost professional mentors who gave me practical training as a lawyer, which helped me to get faster to law practice. I'm grateful to his institution, especially we both share the same birthday. He is one of my friends. When I was posted to Vendor for NYC, I found out since then City has become a hub around which most of my life as my husband here. I got married in 1997. After my NYC, I got employed by the Justice University. I worked with Justice University and gradually climbed up to Future State Council Grade 1. That mission was very good for a young budding lawyer. For 40, I did my best to give full expression to my passion for both criminal and civil litigation. I was blessed to have mentors like Justice Olaji Ola GSC of Blessed Mumbai, then in charge of Ondo State High Court, and Justice Emily Buda, the GSC of Blessed Mumbai, who was then the Attorney General of Ondo State. They made great input into my professional development at this point. Actually, I was qualified to go, I passed the exam to go abroad for legal practice. But because of my passion for advocacy, I declined. Within 5 years, I was able to secure my PhD. 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 I was able to secure my P now Edo State, suspended to Edo Police of Justice. I came in as acting state counsel. I handled several cases. The Ministry of Justice afforded me ample opportunity to develop advocacy skills while occupying this mid-range position. United States, I took a course in public and so during this period, when I was in the ministry, I handled tough and highly contentious litigation cases, which were mostly of the fall out of the decision of the government. What did then Attorney General? Notice the passion which I handled cases, he created a special investigative department within the ministry. Special and sensitive cases were handled by the team. Several cases were assigned to me, such as Adina case, Akasu case, so many cases. I became director of investigation in 1988. I headed and led a crucial department of the Office of Attorney General of the state. I coordinated all the civil cases that the state government had, which were mostly at the higher court, court of appeal, and even Supreme Court. It was then in essence. Before I became the DCS director of investigation, it was customary to engage external lawyers to handle a number of cases of the state. Which I initiated and presided over a policy change that involved grooming in-house state counsel by exposing them to all sensitive cases. The change of direction was born out of the conviction that the law firm to have all the resources needed to match every service fair. I ensured that the lawyers working with me had all they needed to do their best as far as the I became DPP in 1990. The leadership skills that I gathered over the years also came in handy. At DPP, my office was the channel of the special of the constitutorial part of the Attorney General. On the 7th of August 1991, the NSA was speaking to you remember, you recall that in the late 90s, the time looked in Venice State swat in single high. The statistics of robbery incidents were staggering and had reached an all-time high. One of the challenges that bedeviled the system was the large volume of spies pouring in from the police, especially in respect of capital offenses and other felonies. It was the office of the DPP that took decisions as to whether the fight contained sufficient evidence to establish a case against the suspect. The different fights were not usually assigned were usually assigned to the DPP, assigned to the office of the DPP, who basically went through the materials and then did recommendations that the staff of the DPP took the final decision. Against the backdrop of the inefficient system of tracking and decision making on each side, I took practical initiatives that were designed to enhance the smooth running of the system of administration of criminal justice in the state. One of those initiatives was the system that I termed return date, so the officers remember RG. It was the time now within the state council had to render his or her advice, give it to her. I also created a police liaison department to enhance direct communication with the officers of police so as to effectively monitor the cases statewide against the DPP. These were policies aimed at ensuring speedy decisions of suspects who were suspects. It was aided. It also aided the smooth and effective administration. In 1992, I was appointed SDPS, Education and Foreign Service. I had to rise to the challenge of serving under military government. Despite of the unfavorable environment, I would say the rule of law in the justice delivery sector of the state. Successive governors of the state retained me as Secretary General. I served as part of them, and I was Secretary General for 7 years. I attribute my appointment as Secretary General Foreign Secretary to divine providence. I had not slightest knowledge that the new Secretary General was to be appointed. At that point in time, 16 years. I was engrossed in sorting out the congestion issues and hardly paid any attention to the news when they were reading out the permanent deputy director general. It was my cousin, Engineer Dilingwehi, who walked into the house the following morning after my appointment was announced and broke the news to me. He simply told me that I had been appointed a permanent secretary. My elevation was not the result of any lobbying or solicitation, but an account of the sheer workings of the recognition of hard work as governor of the state, she joined everything. After my appointment, I continued to perform for a while and the duties of director of public institutions. That was an unprecedented continuation of one simple office within the ministry. We told between 1996 and 1998, I functioned as both Secretary General and Director General on one hand, and Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice and State Authority of Justice on the other hand. Monitoring rights and attendant responsibilities was presented to the DC of the case. At that point, I completely steered the affairs of the entire ministry, acting both as the Commissioner for Justice, that serves as State Cabinet and Executive Council meeting, and the Solicitor General, who handles the professional duties of the ministry. Well, we know that the Attorney General heads the law office, so I was in a position to push policies and steer the ministry in the direction that I thought was best within the limits of allocated resources. The welfare and motivation of counsel working in the Ministry of Justice has always been a matter of priority and importance to me. The sensitive nature of the work demands that the state counsel is constantly interfacing with very wealthy and well-equipped law offices. The logistics of operations require that vehicles be made available to get lawyers from all throughout the state. Sometimes the state counsel that live in Benin will have a place in Laos or Ekoma, and we need to get to any official ministries, official vehicles were a few and not enough to go around. I negotiated and got loans for all state councils that work within the Ministry of Justice. I ensured that loans were given just to those who were in the next one either. Also, did my best to keep the law library of the ministry in order to keep the staff and the legal resources to do their work. I eventually ensured the brand new official staff called Felicia purchased for the Ministry of to facilitate their travel. Do you know that I also proposed a review of remuneration of staff of Ministry of Justice under Robert Daniel, which was approved. Under the new arrangements, the Attorney General earned the same salary with the Chief Judge of the state, while the Solicitor General earned the same salary as the Judge of the High Court. My reason was that both positions are special and foremost within the professional organogram of the state justice system. The salaries of state counsel were equally great. I want to thank all the staff who worked with me and helped me to succeed at this juncture. Many of you are here today. Many of them were limited to the high bench. Of note are Honorable Justice Foreign, the Chief Judge of Edo State, Justice Hebu JCA, late Justice Edopai, Honorable Justice Geraldine Madibelo, Justice Daniel Kungowa, Justice Peter Akikebo, Honorable Justice Vito Vialu. Some have gone to Delta State. So many. I was not actually a one-man riot. I'm deeply grateful. Some pack members of my staff, such as Kungowa, Akikebo, Obiagwe, Odio, Omodina, we sometimes work with meetings 3 a.m. in the office just to meet deadlines. Their dedication to work was secondary. God bless all of you. Your names are all here for lots of time. In 1992, the then executive governor of the state. In 1992, the then executive governor of the state, John Odigioyehu, asked if I would be interested in being appointed as a judge of the High Court. I claimed with indulgence to allow me to confer with my husband and get back to him shortly. My husband then counseled that I further serve the administration. He reminded me that I did not lobby for the office of Solicitor General, but that the governor, who I did not know before, chose me to assist the administration from working. So, in fact, when I reported back to the governor, he was very grateful for my consideration and promised to appoint me as soon as another office was called. Lo and behold, fortunately, a full sweat of the administration in 1994 because it actualized its promise. By God's providence, I was appointed a judge of the High Court of Edo State in 1999, while Honorable Justice C.A.R. Momo was then the Chief Judge of Edo State. I was sworn in by Navy Captain William Willis, respected member. It was the dawn of a new era in my public service. It was also a new era for the country as the military boys returned to power and the need of a particularly elected officers, set of leaders who are getting ready to be sworn in to commence Nigeria's top court republic under the new constitution of the Federal of Nigeria. I took my judicial oath seriously from the onset. For me, it was not a casual procedural ritual. My religious understanding and consciousness opened me up a deeper dimension to the new office I was taking. It was a service and a trust committed to me by the state as recipient of God, to whom I will ultimately honestly to the best of my ability and the law. It was a firm undertaking not to allow personal interest influence official conduct or official decisions. A commitment to preserve, protect, and defend the constitution and federal republic of Nigeria. It takes a lot of hard work to defend justice and state judicial officer. However, as it happened by the experience I had gathered over the years as a of justice, it was some of everything that had to say. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% aspiration. Accordingly, a genius is often merely a talented person who has done all of his or her own work. In other words, setting the past right is similar comes to Jesus. Lawyers who appeared before me were agreeing that I give attention to teaching and combine realistic skills with firmness and intolerance for tidiness and professional integrity. The administration of justice as a judge requires seriousness, trustworthiness, diligence, and hard work. In my grown-up years, I had a cultivated culture of hard work, which I upheld in every assignment I carried out and every judgment I had to write. Writing good judgments requires long hours of reading. Usually, the judge must read and consider a sort of document, but a number of relevant implications. I always believed that whatever is worth doing is worth doing very well. Hence, I had to walk my talk down. Because of my sojourn, when I served in various religions, you have heard about them, and I was a chairman of the tribunal. Senator Vamoke was a member of that tribunal. God help us with this very serious assignment because that's the code of the gospel. As a judge, I remember the several times in which God rescued me and set me from harm's way. When I served as a judge in Ekoma, there were several occasions when armed robbers took over the road as I traveled between Iri and Ekoma, because there was no good accommodation in Ekoma. There were times when we would stop for more than an hour to get the road clear. This is Tessie Ege Abbey. Council attacked my report to just this. In Ekoma itself, the situation was very often compromised as armed robbers attacked banks on several occasions which were in close proximity to the courtroom. Courtesy will be disrupted and have to suspend proceedings. Undoubtedly, God's confidence and mercy has characterized my successes and achievements throughout my life and career. In 2009, there was an opening for me to be appointed court of appeal, but rather unfortunately, it was not materialized. That they announced, it was all over the papers and yeah, but it had not been confirmed by the confirming authorities. Apart from the fact that I was not in good books of some people in certain quarters because of my disciplined style of life, some others placed objections on the ground that I was not an indigenous of this state. That was in spite of my long-standing marriage to an Edo man, long-running service to the state at different levels, and the fact that my mother is an indigenous of this state. The appointment process was started, and my name was called. This now keeps definition of state authority for a married woman who has put in several years of royal service in her husband's state and never served the end of justice to promote emotional national cohesion and unity. I'm aware of the state government. I know the governor of River State, chief judge of that for the state and not for River State. For me, Edo State has been my home for a longer period than it is has been. I have achieved this situation with equanimity and continue to serve the state as a judge with my normal duty. I believe that my appointment in 2012 came at the God ordained time. For God makes all things beautiful. It is a follow a hill of the celebrated author of Abel Interface. The two hardest tests in spiritual growth are the patience to wait for the right moment and the courage not to be disappointed with what you obtain. When the next appointment video was announced in 2012, God opened the door and he said so. In fact, I was oblivious of the excellence of appointment, hence I was not recommended by any people. However, I was invited by the University of Kentucky, who I had earlier sat together in the of the tribunal, or who sat on appeals over my judgment. I must express profound gratitude to the justices who, without any solicitation whatsoever, commenced the appointment process for recommendations. Among them are Honorable Dr. Yusuf Ngola, Ademola Adekeye JSC retired. Justice Uwani Musa Abaji JSC. Justice Abubakar Jega Abubakar JSC of blessed memory. Justice Aboki. Justice Adamu Jairo. Justice Alfred Agbo. These justices believe that I was a fit and proper judicial officer and would be a great asset to the nation and the court of appeal. I am also grateful to several other justices who also recommended me for this appointment and several other individuals interested in my study. My profound gratitude extended to the then Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Aloma Maria Mukhtar, who found me worthy of the appointment and in fact expressed it to me personally. After 13 years, I was on on the High Court of California State. This is Dr. Pig. During my service in Dr. Pig, I was blessed to have the support and goodwill of Honorable Justice Zainab Tupatua, the then President of Dr. Pig, who graciously retained me in Abuja without any solicitation whatsoever. I was one of the exceptional justices who did not suffer the treatment transference. She took into consideration, among others, the later health challenge of my husband. For this, I'm eternally grateful. I want to express gratitude to my presiding justice, Abdulabuki JSC, and other kind-hearted justices of the court of appeal. Any of them are here. Justice Adada today, when we are going to Supreme Court. During this time period, you are all shining gems. So my brother justices at Benin, who received me with so much warmth of love. When I returned to Benin this year, I expressed profound gratitude. I must mention my presiding justice, my Lord, Honorable Justice Henry Keji, whom you DPSC, my sister, Justice Samuel Keji, DPSC, who's here tonight. Justice Mom, Argumente, EA, Justice Abraham Rivera, Judgment, DC. Thank you, warm, all through my career, I do spend courage and inspiration of ethical values from the scriptures. It is outward chambers that once is marked the conscience is the internal perception of God. Conscience is the internal perception of God's moral law. Ronald Reagan, the U.S. President, said, freedom prospers when religion is vibrant, and the rule of law under God was a judge who fears God. You understand that the office is respected. Every judge will stand before the High Court of God's court. Scripture records in Leviticus that you will not be judged in Ephesians 6:6, not with an eye service as men people, but as the servant of Christ doing the will of God from the heart. Serve wholeheartedly as if you are serving the Lord, not people. My pastoral ethical code is anchored in Deuteronomy 16:20, and I appoint judges and officials for yourselves from each of your tribes in all the towns the Lord your God is giving you. They must judge the people fairly. You must never twist justice or show partiality. Never accept a bribe or bribes the eyes of the wise and corrupt the decisions of the godly. Let justice today, so you will live and occupy the land that God has given you. When faced with imminent deadline, and I have to walk all through the night, and then from there, enter the bathroom and go straight to court, I will assure myself with the beautiful promise, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I saved with joy up in my career despite sensitive assignments. My name was a star. God got to give it to me. His name was superior to God. This occasion, perhaps more than any other, offers me the golden opportunity to air some of my denomination. If you permit me, this is supposed to be my day. This is supposed to be the judgment I have to deliver. So here am I doing this. On the judiciary, I believe that the judiciary has made enormous contributions to nation building, and that the Nigerian public has been most unfair to Nigerian judges, both present and both past and present. Judiciary is ours to cultivate and not to plunder. From experience, I understand the stressful demand of judicial office. I think that judicial office holders deserve commendation and adequate work. While there are a few bad eggs, that does not justify the media banshee bashing of judges who hardly have the opportunity to defend themselves. In the course of my career, the judges I associated with and worked with are the finest breed of discipline and patriotic Nigerians that I have ever seen. Our judiciary must be appreciated and adequately rewarded for their work. As at now, the study of judicial officers and their withdrawal nominations are ridiculously low. If you mention what the question is, or you speaking, you will not get. Middle class staff in some other government departments earn better in all ramifications. Meanwhile, there's no progression in their earnings while serving. For instance, a judge that was appointed 30 years ago earns the same salary as one appointed today. There is no increment in salary. It is ridiculous and most discouraging. You cannot expect a magical wand to improve the system of administration of justice with poor caseload management. You need to deploy more funding to the judiciary to adequately regulate everybody and fund more. Whatever the case may be, however, a judge must sacrificially keep tenaciously to his oath of office. The appointment of judges, therefore, ought to strictly be on merit, having regard to persons of intelligence and integrity, and not based on favoritism, lobbying, and what of what, personality. In the past, people did not have to lobby for appointment as judges. They were invariably invited to due to their creditable performance. Today, let me turn it to survival of success in the work of lobbying and influence peddling. Sadly, many of these lobbies and influence peddlers are morally, intellectually bankrupt. A proper scrutiny must be carried out by the appointed authorities so as to sustain the integrity of the judiciary. I must emphasize that the judiciary is a bastion of hope, the last hope for the common man. It is the cornerstone upon which a democratic government is built. Where its foundation is undermined, the handmaiden of justice weeps for an eventual anarchy, and then the bad saying that you cannot put nothing on something on nothing and expect it to stand stares us in our face. It is very important to state that the judiciary is the third organ of the government. This organ of government is the most accessible of the three organs of government to the common man. Hence, it is referred as the last hope of the common man. Without any fear of contradiction whatsoever, I must say that the strength of a country can be determined by how strong the judicial system is. The role of judiciary in our nation today cannot be overemphasized. A weak judiciary means a normless society predicated on abuse of rule of law, injustice and inequity and inequality. Without the judiciary, there would be society, and left after society will be what has been called solitary, poor, nasty, rigid, and short. It's for these reasons that the judiciary must be described. In appreciation of our judiciary in keeping and preserving our democracy and our beloved country, Nigeria, Honorable Justice U. Kalgojesu, CON, in Valedictory speech of 14th May 2007, had this to say: of course, from independence up to now, the greatest asset of this nation is the judiciary. The executive might transgress, the legislation might become unruly. It has always been the judiciary that has stood the test of time by standing firm on the side of truth and justice. Apart from one knock here and there, overwhelmingly, the judiciary is the least offensive of the three acts of government and one that has brought stability to the country. We have some bad eggs though, but they are being picked up and thrown away to prevent work in the system. I must add that without judiciary, there is no Nigeria. The judiciary deserves to be respected. Any form of clamp down on the bench for whatever reason is an affront to the judiciary. It brings the whole organ into disrepute, which ultimately is capable of taking our society back to the days of jungle justice. The executive should be patient to take advantage of the rule of law. I have quoted Justice Mohammed talking about the state classified observers, even during the military decision handed down by the first way, we expect to see more respect of the rule of law. Failure to abide by court order in negation to committed. It's only possible to have a strong judiciary. So important is the role of judiciary that the Constitution forbids the legislature from enacting any law that out or purport to out the decision of the court of law of any cabinet established by law. In the execution of mandate, interpretation of law, and administering justice, the judiciary is not tied to the constraints of any political party, pressure group, religious, racial or ethnic group, sex or political entity. And this explains why the symbol of justice is depicted as a blindfolded person holding two evil scales, meaning that the judiciary is to defend justice to all manner of people without fear or favor, affection or ill will. But acting has this to say, I quote, it has been one of the crusaders of freedom of the principles of liberty, that the judges are no respecter of persons and stand between the subject and any attempted encroachment on his liberty, allowed to see that any coercive action is justified. Underscoring the importance of appointing competent judicial officers, uh, um, Evans said a poor judge is perhaps the most risky indulgence of the community. What we try to say here is that the judge is intelligent and is not corrupt. I don't want to go to the bench to amass care, but money for us and police not only the kindness of justice, but also the very stupid system. The calamity to have a corruption. The passing away of the great advocate does not pose such public danger as the appearance of a club judge or the bench police. In the latter instance, the public interest suffer, an elegant justice is not. What has frightened is an honest success. The procedure of appointment of justice therefore devoid of political affection and application as enshrined in 1999 Constitution to that and Lord Strong. Well, a lot has been said about financial autonomy of the judiciary. We all know about Section 153, 151, 3 of the Code of the Constitution, and I think this is accepted. I'm going to talk about appointees for the Ministry of Justice. Let me take accountability with all sense of responsibility from a student and Ministry of Justice, the largest chambers in the federal or state. And this is a good training ground for lawyers. The state counsel by the appointment are used to discipline and moderate living. Unlike doctors, they are not allowed to private practice. Good lawyers ultimately make good jobs. However, the state counsel's career financially terminates with the executive after termination to the bench. Let me give an example. I went to the post of Director General after 23 years of service. I was appointed as a judge. I started a completely separate career without any remuneration whatsoever for the state government. Meanwhile, constitutionally, a judge was 23 years in the bench before he can finish. I am of the company that the executive was devised a means of eliminating an officer in the national arm of government from a means to defend serving the executive for a very retirement age of judges before that we have a practice in adjusting the youth section is no longer teaching, especially for those who have had to approach the court to seek redress. It takes too long to resolve conflicts who are caught. The average period in a civil case to exhaust the right of the litigant to go through the entire ladder of court, from magistrate court or high court to supreme court, some cases take the bulk of the time of any judge, making as they are assigned to handle special election tribunals away from their places of primary assignment for several months. This naturally goes with the attendant high legal cost of security of securing quality legal representation. Even alternative dispute resolution cases still end up in court. The result is that citizens are dangerously resorting to help. Our security agencies are now regularly doing this as ad hoc judges, thereby undermining the rule of law. Alternative social costs of the media are speaking up everywhere with high patronage by the masses. The implication is that the judiciary the constitutional age of retirement of judges at the High Court is 6 to 5 years and 7 years for justice of 14 and 6 years. We lose our well-trained judicial staff when we need them most to this constitutional college. They are need to stop the family doesn't supply to remove the cap entirely or remove the cap entirely. Lord Jenny once said that the best of his judgment was delivered after his thought. Therefore, if there's no age limit to occupy executive and legislative offices, I see no reason why there should be. Most judges who retire at 70 are still intellectually sound, healthy, and capable of discharging judicial function. A number of retired judges have been called upon to head arrests, public organizations, and even lead major special conflict resolution panels. The recent efforts of the National Assembly to amend the Constitution to harmonize the requirements of judges of the High Court and that of the Appellate Court, and also move requirement age to 75 and 64. Another way to indicate that judges who pass professional age continue to function with different assignments to handle cases, such as cases like corruption cases, debt recovery cases, election security cases, and other issues that may determine that the however, more seriously spread that the comfort of judges of the executive improve to justify the continue training for lawyers and judges. We live in a world in which the only constant change. The dynamics of information technology means that those in the business of law must catch up with the wind of change if they must be relevant, effective, and remain at the cutting edge of action. We can't keep doing things the old way and keep up with the global advancements in justice related. This means we will to learn and continually improve our capacity through form of informal training. According to Avan Top and this, and I quote, the literate of the 21st century is not the person who cannot read or write, but he who cannot learn, unlearn, and unlearn. For legal practitioners, quality of sound legal practice is keep in our decline. We must keep learning both at the bar and the bench. We must keep maturing and keep challenging ourselves with the quotation I say, I can and say. This is the most difficult stuff. Sure, the persons I have to stand and numerous strong house have to start to somewhere. I give my best gratitude for the grace upon me and members of my family. I give my gospel and I pray for the grace upon us. God Almighty has been upholding me despite some serious challenges in life. My gratitude to God Almighty. Many of my colleagues are friends wonder how I manage to cope cheerfully despite the difficulties of life. Praise be to God Almighty. In particular, I thank God for joining mercy and for sparing the lives of my family members during this perilous year 2020 that has been ravaged by COVID-19 pandemic and the end stars crisis. I almost gave up the idea of valedictory ceremony because of this year. Nonetheless, life must go on. My profound gratitude goes to our state government, Excellency, that for the enhancement process. Governor of the state who has been particularly benevolent to me to bring practice. That's why he's giving able to ensure that he secures 3 days for him to go to get this to mark this ceremony. He has honored me in many respects. I pray that God in his goodness continue to honor him more. As for my brother, the chief presenter of Angel of Justice, Excellency, Mr. Wike Esquire, the executive governor of River State. Words are not sufficient for me to thank him for his care and affection to his family, especially to my family. He kept his promise to find the state to personally attend this radio station. Say, finally good. Hi, to my brother, he won't go to. He called me to say that first week I'm here, and I'm very grateful to say you will come because of you that have aligned your faith. From take me, I don't know whether I can explain it here. I No, however, the chief will promise to be here and translate him to Catholic. My sister got to go to the body for you. Do a Catholic and say, I told you to be here, I don't know that. Again, one of the letters they promise and send the representative, well, I don't know whether he's there. If you take almost 12 minutes, send the paper general, I don't know whether he's there. I was trying to be secretary to the local government. Because I was the of the social assistant. Respectfully, he tried to visit my house to coordinate the activities for my retirement programs. So Mama of Edo State Judiciary is going to be here, but I've not seen her. The same, so I must thank Sir Dr. G.O. Division, the summer of the He's always happy to visit his family. I've celebrated my family many times, for both birthdays, together, so many times. Just yes, because it is not cheap and favor the things to English system. My back to the goes to chief of logistics and it was yesterday for transportation. But thanks to Royal Highness, we need to take it to my husband's city. The delegation for Africa. For the parents, and for the family. So I must keep the things of your magic. And with the one way of the back, I know that I am very, very good. And like to come personally. So in most cases, the self representative is not help, but I'm still personally. I'm very, very good. And the members of the planning committee who voluntarily consider themselves as tirelessly, they decide to make the committee. I think they're perfect. In that, my lord, you have to do something. You have to take the committee before going. To start the process of this event, particularly on the people that became, on the people of their way, on the people of my graduates, taxi, and the abbey, to go to the graduates, to take direction. My PA, to Sabu, and say, and generally go to take my sister, talk about it, team, to work carry. She register, but the high court and the team, and very. And to say, match my little brother. I need because from share the paper, I told you to get flight from Abuja. So that's for me. I know all you have lined up now. I know why you're talking about not complete knowledge, not the people. You know about this next year advocate, manage like graduate, manage to come, whether they now got private jet to get there. Also, we should thank the all GNs, all present. This is a collection of cars, heavy weight and passengers from drivers to that of flight or from the great it is a sacrifice for anyone to attend an event these days. So many travel far and near. God bless you all. It's a prayer that the time of need will not start often for me. To the fact, particularly in advocate, I say thank you. I was a difficult judge, so to say, for the indolent, unserious, and adjournment seeking lawyers. But most of you kept your cool head while it lasted and kept the faith with me in a common process. I may have inadvertently offended you with my sweetness, but if I have the opportunity to do this job again, I bet I will see those things which I think will have offended you with my discipline. All in all, I wish you the best of luck and more money into your bank account. Pockets are now too small for the money. I thank my colleagues. I thank my brother just for the fellowship I enjoyed with them. We worked harmoniously in mutual respect and supported ourselves immensely. Some of you have been particularly close to me and miss me very much. In particular, I find the honorable person of 40 honorable justice, Monica Delgado, I'm holding this validity session in my honor, despite the challenges of COVID-19, and that was particularly delighted that I worked cooperately with my colleagues at both the High Court and Court of Appeal without any critical control. I will always think of the fact that our past work and good air. I repeat my gratitude to all the graphic designers as I move to Katua, OFAR, CFAR, needed past present president of the Court of Appeal. It is my state. So my staff and the Minister of Justice, the best credit grant for any lawyer in the world. And for those states, High Court, Lead Division, Abuja, Ekoma, and to the staff of Court of Appeal, Abuja and Lead Division, I say I am very, very grateful for two occasions. I can never leave out Mr. Gbenga Owa, who positively harassed me. That's why all odds and challenges to get the angel of justice published to do job people. You read more about me, all the better. Sort of biography about me and my career. I have said the best for the last for my family. I thank my family members for taking all the time to be here. I won't start calling names because they take all the time. I'm very grateful for all of you for being here to honor me. God bless you all, and God continue to honor you in the mighty name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Firstly, I want to express my profound love and immense gratitude to my knight in shiny armor, my hero, my alter ego, my soulmate, my brother, my love, and most importantly, that is, very good, is my dear husband, Michelangelo Esquire. One day called mine, call it mine, M-I-N-E, by name. Where's time, space, and adjectives will fail me if I think to put on record with support, protection, and love. I have enjoyed from him over the years. May God continue to preserve and bless him. I know it is well. It is well. It is well. God bless our union with 3 children. So my wonderful, sweet, loving children, Malaika, Michelangelo, and my evangelist, and my sweet grandchildren, I'm so highly richly blessed with. I say, thank you. Mrs. Malaika Hama is a barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, as well as the solicitor of England and Wales. Mr. Wilson II is also a barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. And my baby, one evangelist Kadiri, a civil engineer as well as an oil and gas engineer. They have all turned out right and grown up to be responsible, and each of them having a family of their own. Their spouses are my children, also as caring as can be imagined. I, in all, the Wilsons have 8 grandchildren. More to come in Jesus' name. I could not have asked for more from God. Good husband and loving children are the best gift any woman can ever have. For a career woman, balancing the high demands of a professional calling, the duty of a wife, and a mother is always a huge task. Both require enormous work and attention. A lot of homes and marriages have suffered from the lack of balancing of the challenging equation that the realities of the 2 worlds of the married of that of a married professional woman. However, I made up my mind that I was not going to achieve success in my profession at the expense of my family. It was not easy to juggle both the demands of my professional life and those of my family members. Thank God I don't do that. I thank my father and my beloved mother of blessed memory for nurturing me to attain those heights. Of course, my siblings who are always supportive and caring. I pause here to recall the fatherly role that Chief Tinuade of blessed memory played in my life. At different points of my career, he encouraged me. We lived on the same street here in Benin and were neighbors. He first took an interest in me because I'm admirably, so he said, married to one of his kinsmen, but was later impressed with my achievements. Incidentally, I never met him. I met him for the first time ever when he paid a visit to our home to congratulate me on my appointment as a permanent secretary. Though Josephine, my friend, and I were knitted together, and we were actually closer to Josephine was the next door neighbor. I do not know the extent to which my patience audience has absorbed my story. What I certainly know is that I'm very fulfilled and immensely grateful to God, and immensely grateful to God for my life. Having attained the beautiful age of 70 years, I pray God gives me the will, energy, and good health to continue to serve Him more. What can I say unto the Lord? All I have to say is thank you, Lord. I thank you all who have honored the invitation to support my faith, to be part of this valedictory session to mark my retirement as the justice of God my faith, going moment of my life. As I depart, I pray you do so in peace, and the good Lord shall see you home safely. God bless you all. Thank you, my Lord Jesus Christ. You have not been here for a very long time. You can say all the same words like masculine. Usually, when you are here, when you are dressed like this, you are sweating, profusely sweating. But by the grace of God, the good crop of the government of the state, He provided this all. I'm happy that I'm privileged to this hall, even though this hall has not been commissioned. It's a beautiful hall and very, very well air conditioned. So the high cost of this state is lucky to happen. And I think gratitude goes to the government of this state for this beautiful everything. I pray that we have more and more and more in this state. In Jesus' name. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
All protocols observed. I did say that we were going to be let into some things we did not know, and we have been duly let. My Lord, the celebrant, the next assignment I have is a response, but I am at a loss to know response to what? To the event, to your speech, to lawyer's speech, or what? So I will just drift a bit. It is indeed a good thing to see a colleague run the race and to have run it successfully. I am sure it is a prayer, um, an accomplishment that each of us in the judiciary will want for ourselves. So, like the rest, the celebrant finished by giving glory to the Lord. We join her in giving glory to the Lord. I'm praying to the same Lord that all of us still in active service should be blessed as she has been blessed. Let's be life to run our race without blemish, because even if I did not flow with her while she was in active service, because we were of different divisions, I can still remember that in one particular year, I had to serve in a panel headed by Justice Sankey in Enugu, and she was a member of that panel, although that panel never did anything because the matter was settled, and automatically we were disbanded as that was the only matter. The next close interaction I had with her was when we went for um, we went out of the country to Zanzibar. Yes, that was when I got to know her nature as a very frank person, and you know, so it is indeed a privilege that I am the one that now has to coordinate her valedictory session, and I will confess that I'm going away with so many things. The first one being that biography of that has is the first one, and it might be the only one that, and also I would want to copy what I've seen here today, and perhaps some of us to want to take this type of a sitting back home. So I sincerely thank your Lordship for making your valedictory to happen at this time. Because if it had happened earlier, I might not have featured at all. So I have derived an advantage. We think, I do not think it will be in order again to go down the protocol list. But each and every one of us that have impacted on the life of the celebrants, she has given thanks and joined her in thanking you for all you have done, for her to have weathered the storm and to have survived the celebrant has specifically asked me to thank my Lord Danjuma, JCA. My Lord immediately to us, my Lord had to go to extra length to be here. But when she was telling me, I said to her, I'm not going to thank him. You didn't thank me. I, I think I should be the one because you didn't thank me. Then she said she will thank me later. But I would have preferred for her to thank me to the hearing of everybody. Your, Your Excellencies, uh, it is, I will just read this small piece. I crave your lordship's indulgence to admonish my lord to refrain from using the title Honorable Justice without stating that you are retired. But I wouldn't know whether I'm right in that regard. I think it's people like my lord Omage that can put us. Are we supposed to put RTD after our names after we retire from the bench, we will come to for the answer at another time. But I will be appealing to your Lordship to go down memory lane. I think you are the people who trained overseas and all this so that we can benefit from it. But until my Lord Omage passes the verdict, I will suggest that she should just be calling herself Honorable Justice. I want to thank you all for gracing this memorable occasion. I want to use this opportunity to recognize again the family of the Lord and to thank you for bringing up such a gem, although the gem is now 70. I wonder how somebody was still 16 at that time. Perhaps an eye test is required, you know. And a wonderful spouse and the holy book in Psalm 128, verse 2 says, when you eat the labor of your hands, you shall be happy and it shall be well with you. Well, on behalf of myself, my brother justices, the entire judiciary, wish you, we wish our it was good outgoing, and I said it's outgoing. Sister, God's blessings, God continue blessings in health and rewarding and a very fruitful retirement in life. Now, yes, my Lord, it is always good to be happy with those the, but before we go, I am reminded that I should inform all of us here present that there is going to be a book launch which follows immediately. So, and the reception will be there. Also, so it's going to be a twin event. Although my Lord did not disclose whether she had twins, but you know, please can you hear that? Well, she said she's praying for twins, but it cannot be. Ah, ah, she has now, so I will not go there. Thank you very much. That is, we will beg the big people here to please find time to stay with us, to participate fully in the book launch and to taste some of the fine things we have. It's really been a privilege because I'm actually seeing some of my old friends in court who apparently became old enemies. Well, because it is out of sight, out of mind, which should not be the case. But that is the way God works. I see that everybody is looking fit. I just hope I'm looking fit myself. If I am not, please slip me a note to tell me how I can look fit so that I will be 18 while she's 16. It will now be uh, the other way around. So this brings to an end the session for the day. It's a pity that none of you have any right of reply. The only reply I will now give is that since my brother, Ada, JCA, is here leading the PCA's team, he is going to clearly take over at the book launch, but he won't take over my food at the reception. Thank you very much. Court will rise.
Look at the different content. What of our things about
I know people who do that pressure. How you doing? No people on pressure. Just let me know. Just before I say you don't go to see
People are relocating. Are relocating. So all the power and everything I'm set for you now. Now I called you now. When I was telling him if I this thing today, he go to pressurize on somebody. I'm waiting for it. It's like they want to go and stay behind us. I'm waiting for people to come up with. That's why I'm just doing this to cover.
Difficult.
Power that system for me. Okay, favor. They don't bring power. They don't
Say no give us power.
Huh? Why are they packing at things for?
We need something.
We get power over here for sound. So they don't give them power. Why not carry on with this thing come out? Why did they tell you so?
Sir?
Why not carry on with everything come
No,
out?
because of the wire. No one disconnect the wire.
So you try to connect your camera.
Man.
They make yourself connect. So at least when I come up. Close your leg. Close the leg now so I can pass. Center would have been better. Center. Center in a way that will not disturb. So they will not also disturb you when you are. So that somebody can pass side of you. So that somebody can also pass side. But this place will be our focus. Yeah. The camera one now. This I think. Nobody will do the rest.
Governor is around. And nobody to go.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Ma?
Just come back. Come. Free your mind. Come on.
Call them and ask whether they have come up.
Your Excellencies, my Lord, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're gathered here today to make history in the life and times of the jurist of high repute that is taking our exit from the bench of the Court of Appeal in style and glamour. We gathered to give honor to my Lord, the Honorable Justice Tinuade, Akomolafe-Wilson, JCA,
Just take over, settle on this guy, then
that have retired meritoriously after many years of deeds of hard work. I'd like to especially welcome each and every one of you. May I appeal that we make use of the exit on both sides instead of this center arena. Ushers will be happy if you can help us enforce this. Those with the souvenirs would like to see you at the corridors. Please make use of the ends of the canopies. I'd like first to announce the chairman for these events. A man of many parts, our father, His Excellency, the Romanian Ambassador to Edo and Delta States, our first-class chief from the palace of His Royal Majesty, Omonoba Nedu Kwakolokolo, Oba Ewai II Ugidigan, the Oba of Benin, that parades a very rare title, prestigious in the annals of Benin Kingdom as the Isama of Benin Kingdom. If you want to clap, clap very well. Your Excellencies, my lords, I'm talking about one of Africa's best, an industrialist, a man of many firsts. It will interest you to know that he is the Chancellor of the premier private university of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, with registration number 001, the Igbinedion University, Okada. Please make welcome His Excellency, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawaro Igbinedion, CMRO, the Isama of Benin Kingdom, and chairman of this event, Isama Tokpe. We appreciate you, sir, and we thank God for your life. Permit me, ladies and gentlemen, to also acknowledge and welcome the Excellencies, the Governor of Edo and River States, that have honored my Lord with their very physical presence at today's event. As soon as the Excellencies join us on this side of the arena, we will officially welcome them and begin the event. But in the interim, we'll have some classical music to make you welcome. It has been a very busy day, very academic, very interesting, and we thank you for being part of these historic moments. One of the finest moments where it takes a lot of pride and dignity to be educated. And that is exactly what we are celebrating today. excellence, and meritorious service to God and to humanity. We'll have some wonderful music as we wait their excellencies to join us, and then we will officially Your Excellencies, my Lord, may I respectfully acknowledge and welcome my Lord, the Honorable Justice S.E. Oseji, a Justice of the Supreme Court. Can we please make welcome my Lord? May I also respectfully acknowledge and welcome my Lord, the Honorable Justice M. Adume, the Honorable Justice M. Adume of the Court of Appeal. Please welcome my Lord. May I also respectfully welcome my Lord, the Honorable Justice Daudu Williams of the Court of Appeal. Just arriving, ladies and gentlemen, shall we please rise as we welcome the celebrant in company of our host governor, His Excellency Godwin Nogagaseo Basaki, the Executive Governor of Edo State. Shall we have some music as we welcome His Excellency and my Lord, the Honorable Justice Tinuade Akomolafe-Wilson. DJ, let the music play on. DJ, get ready for the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As soon as His Excellency gets set to sit, are we ready, DJ? Ladies and gentlemen, to officially begin these events, that we have the rare honor of attending the valedictory court session for my Lord, the Honorable Justice Tinuade Akomolafe-Wilson, JCA. We have a brief reception and a book launch in our honor. The national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as tuned by the DJ. For our national prayer, we take the second stanza. O God of creation, direct our Lord, thy God lead us right, ever use the truth to know. In all honesty to grow, and living just and true. Bring what we have started, to view the nation where peace and justice shall reign. Thank you, Your Excellencies. My Lord, you may please resume your seats. Once again, we welcome His Excellency, the Wake-and-See Governor of Edo State. And right during the valedictory court section, it was as if we were all in Dubai. The regulated temperature of these edifices, a brainchild of the people's governor, is something we must commend him for. If you enjoy the air condition in that facility, can you clap for Governor Godwin Obaseki? In spite of all the robes, nobody was sweating. Thank you, Your Excellencies. May I also respectfully at this point welcome the Secretary to the Government of Edo State, Osarodio Ogie, Esquire. Ladies and gentlemen, make him welcome. I'd like to, at this point, re-establish the protocol by once again starting from the very top. My Lord, the Honorable Justice S.E. Oseji, a Justice of the Supreme Court. Please make him welcome. We welcome, my Lord, the Honorable Justice M. Adumi of the Court of Appeal. Please make my Lord welcome. We welcome, my Lord, the Honorable Justice Daudu Williams, also of the Court of Appeal. Please make welcome. We welcome, my Lord, the Honorable Justice Shodipe, also of the Court of Appeal. Please make welcome. We welcome, my Lord, the Honorable Justice B. Judge Will, please, also of the Court of Appeal. Please make welcome. We welcome, my Lord, the Chief Judge of Edo State, the Honorable Justice Esther Amenagawo Edigi. Please make welcome the CJ. We also welcome the Chief Judge of Delta State. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome, my Lord, the CJ of Delta State. May I also at this point acknowledge and welcome, my Lord, the Honorable Justice F.A. Ipomoba. We welcome, my Lord. We welcome, my Lord, the Honorable Justice G.O. Imadu Bello. We welcome you, my Lord. We welcome the Lord, Honorable Justice U.I. Irame. Please put your hands together to welcome the Lord. We welcome my Lord, Honorable Justice H.A. Courage Obebo. Please put your hands to welcome the Lord. We welcome my Lord, Honorable Justice M.N. Asembota. We also make welcome my Lord, Honorable Justice P.A. Ahikero. We welcome my Lord, Honorable Justice J.O. Okiaya Ine. We welcome my Lord, Honorable Justice O. Obiagele. We welcome my Lord, Honorable Justice Aro Irele Fiji. We welcome my Lord, Honorable Justice V.O.A. of Yahweh. We welcome my Lord, the Honorable Justice A.G. Mamodu. Please put your hands together to welcome all of them. We acknowledge you, my Lord. We welcome all of you to this event. In a special way, we congratulate our celebrants bowing out in style. We welcome members of our family. Please put your hands together to welcome all of them. I've just been told with apology my Lord, Honorable Justice Danjuma, also of the Court of Appeal. Please put your hands together to make welcome. We also have in our midst learned senior advocates. Let me specially welcome Ahmed Raji S.A.N. Please make welcome. We also welcome Ken Muzia S.A.N. Please make welcome. We welcome Igodalo Imadu Bello S.A.N. We welcome the Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary Oluwole Yamu S.A.N. Please put your hands to welcome all of these wonderful learned S.A.N. in our midst.
Tell them to connect this camera. It's not connected.
We also make welcome Amorio Monua S.A.N., former Attorney General Commissioner for Justice in those states. We welcome you, sir. GC Igbokwe S.A.N. We make welcome. Ferdinand Obi S.A.N. We welcome you. We also welcome my Lord Honorable Justice A.A. Adeumimo, representing the Honorable Justice B.D. Kayim, the President of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria. We acknowledge your presence and welcome you warmly. May I at this point move on to the chairman's opening remarks. As we get more names, we shall acknowledge them in due course. It is a rare honor for us to listen to the words of our elders that they say are filled with wisdom. When the Asama of Benin speaks, it is an honor to be in the audience. We thank you for the love from the Lord. We thank you for accepting to chairman this occasion here today in spite of the very short notice, which we are aware you are already planning for the one on Saturday. It is a double barrier. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the chairman of this event, His Excellency, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osamaro Igbenedion, the Asama Benin Kingdom and Romania Ambassador to Edo and Delta State. Your hands together for our indefatigable chairman.
Well, I'm all well.
let us somebody wants us to sing. Oh Lord my God, when I did awesome wonder, I see the Lord, the world handsome. I see the star. I never holding come down. I want to out the universe and sing my soul, my Savior born to me. How great thou art, great once more. And sing my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Well, Your Excellency, they say if we need comparable idea of war, you don't see nobody is going to have. It's time to celebrate. The celebrant, the man everybody want to see the governor of Edo State, the government. But that's so. If you analyze it, I've said all my things, like in the Lord's Prayer. If you listen to preachers, every word is in the Lord's Prayer. What I want to say that people will say, your school is doing retreat. I purposely had my son lock it within the one representing the honor app. But there's still deserve honor on the honor. Well, Saturday is the day. Let me be brief. The day have drawn pal. I hereby declare this occasion open. Ladies and gentlemen, can you put our hands together for our chairman? That was very apt, precise, and straight to the point. And that is already a clear signal that we must be businesslike. Let me welcome Very Reverend Father Richard Hitler Ferry One International. We also make welcome Very Reverend Father Charles Omo Akwe and Very Reverend Father Edwin Omorobe. We acknowledge your presence, our Reverend Fathers, whom God have been hearing their prayers for the celebrants. Your Excellency, my Lord, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I have the singular honor to invite the book reviewer to quickly make a presentation. Our dear Professor A.O. Ekbo, the Dean, Faculty of Law, Ambrose Ali University, Ekboma. Please, your hands together for our distinguished book reviewer, our Prof. His Excellency, the Governor of Edo State, the Chairman of this occasion, our celebrant, beloveds, ladies and gentlemen, it's my singular honor to
present a brief review of the book that we are here to launch. The book is titled Angel of Justice, a portrayal of the life of a legal icon, Justice Tinuade Akomolafe-Wilson, JCA. It's written by Mr. Olubenga Owa and published by Zuma Bell Books. It's a 422-page book. Angel of Justice, the portrayal of the life of a legal icon, Justice Tinuade Akomolafe-Wilson, JCA, is the story of the life and work of a truly remarkable jurist. Angel means malak in Hebrew and Arabic, which itself stands for messenger, ambassador, or envoy. Studying the life and professional career of Honorable Justice Akomolafe-Wilson, I agree that the title Angel of Justice is most fitting for her biography. She is indeed an envoy of justice, one on a special mission to deliver a scarce commodity, justice, to all, the high and low, the downtrodden and the powerful. Her husband calls her Malaika, which is the Swahili word for angel. The book has an introduction, 10 chapters, and an appendix, all grouped into 4 parts. The foreword was written by her law school mate, Olabode Rose Bible, Justice of the Supreme Court. Chapter 1 records Justice Wilson's family background. Her birth on 18th of October 1950 to Pa Adepoju Akomolafe of Ido Ekiti, the present-day Ekiti State. Her father was an educationist. Indeed, it was while on posting to Sabongidora as a school teacher that he met and married Justice Wilson's mother, Comfort Ayodele Akohai Akomolafe. She is the 4th of 7 children. Chapters 2 and 3 summed up Justice Wilson's growing up and education. She started her basic education at Ido Ekiti, moved on to Queen's College, Ede and Ibadan, and then to Christ School at Ekiti for her higher school certificate. It was in these growing years she inculcated the family values of hard work, respect, discipline, and service to God. She thereafter proceeded to the famous University of Ife, where she trained as a lawyer between 1970 and 1974. It was a hard choice between her preferred course, French, and law. Thank God she made the right choice. That's why we are gathered here today to celebrate her. Her leadership qualities manifested quite early. She was elected in her first year as chairman of Moremi Hall, and at the end of her tenure got an award as the best hall leader. After her call to the bar in 1975, she was posted to the then Midwest State for her NYSC. As designed by the founders of the scheme, she got arrested and never returned to her state of birth. She eventually got married to Michelle Jello, a suave young lawyer from Opoji, the present-day Esna Central Local Government area of Edo State, on 17 December 1977. In Chapter 4, the biographer documents Justice Wilson's civil service years, beginning with her brief stint as State Counsel in the then newly created Ondo State, before her transfer to the Ministry of Justice, Bende State. By dint of hard work and providence, she rose steadily through the ranks to become Director of Civil Litigation, Director of Public Prosecution, Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary, and Acting Attorney General. The chapter highlighted some notable cases she handled as a state counsel, many of them up to the Supreme Court. Her industry and integrity were renowned and highly impactful. The former governor of Edo State, Akomolafe-Wilson, worked under Chief John Odige Oyegu, remarked that she was a woman of unquestionable integrity. Akomolafe-Wilson's appointment and service as a judge of the Edo State High Court from May 1999 is recorded in Chapter 5. She also served as chairman and member of various election tribunals. Justice Wilson displayed exemplary courage on the bench. One case worth noting is that of Okonigele against Governor of Edo State and two others. It's unreported, the suit number is provided there. On the power of the governor to appoint caretaker committees or local government councils. She served without blemish as judge of Edo State. Edo State High Court for 13 years. I speak from personal knowledge. Having appeared before my Lord on many occasions during those years. Chapter 6 is a record of Justice Akomolafe-Wilson's Court of Appeal years, which began on 5th of November 2012. Some of the notable cases Justice Wilson decided were highlighted in this chapter. They include those of Joe Agi against PDP, Assams against Aragume, etc. Chapter 7 is on family, creed, and purpose. It identifies the challenges of meeting the demands of a career woman, a dutiful wife, and loving mother. Her deep faith in God was noted. The conflict between technicality and justice was examined in Chapter 8. Justice Akomolafe-Wilson's preference for substantial justice was examined through some of the cases she decided. The chapter also documents the biographies views on diverse subjects such as limitation law, use of rules of court, fundamental human rights, undefended list, etc. In all, a burning desire to do substantial justice, not hindered by technical rules, is easily discernible. Chapter 9 focuses on the lead judgment of Justice Akomolafe-Wilson in the federal character case and the Court of Appeal. This is the case of Musa Baba Panya against President Federal Republic of Nigeria. 2018-15 Nigerian Weekly Law Report, part 1643. It centered on the entitlement of the indigenous people of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, to a ministerial slot. It involved the interpretation of sections 14.3, 147, and 299 of the 1999 Constitution. In a landmark decision, Justice Wilson decided that FCT is to be treated as a state for the purpose of appointment of ministers, brushing aside all technical landmines. His Lordship emphasized again that judges in interpreting the law must shy away from, quote, technical theatrics. It is a judgment to treasure. The final chapter is entitled Words on Marble, a compilation of notable quotes by Justice Akomolafe-Wilson from her various decisions. The book ends with an appendix which contains tributes and testimonials from 80 persons who encountered Justice Wilson in her various stages in life. Angel of Justice is a compelling read about a woman with royal blood, a true mother, a dutiful wife, a devout Christian, a civil service par excellence who rose to the pinnacle in the civil service, an erudite and courageous jurist, the president of the Court of Appeal, Justice Dumban Manson, aptly summed up Justice Wilson this way. I quote her: "Beneath her amiable demeanor and smiling exterior is a tough core of principles, fearless mind, and a collegiate spirit." End of quote. The whole idea of the work, that is the book we are launching today, is to document for younger generations of lawyers and judicial officers the lessons of hard work, probity, and courage they should learn from the history. The book also has valuable lessons for the non-lawyer. It contains useful materials on different areas of the law that would be of interest to the lawyer and the law student. The book Angel of Justice is more than just the biography of Honorable Justice Tinuade Akomolafe-Wilson. It's a veritable resource material in law and for successful living. The biographer, Mr. Olugbenga Owa, is to be commended for initiating and effectively coordinating this great work to honor this legal icon, Administrator par excellence, this humble and fair-minded woman. This book is very warmly recommended for all who also desire to leave an indelible mark in the sands of time. I thank you all for your attention, and I'm sure in a short while we'll be unveiling the book. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor A.O. Eko. We go straight to the unveiling. And may I respectfully invite Your Excellency, the vacancy governor, who will do us the honor to unveil this book. And to join His Excellency will be the celebrant, the Secretary to Government, the chairman of these events, my Lord, the Chief Judge of Edo State, my Lord, the representative of the Chief Judge of Delta State, and the Justice from the Supreme Court, the Honorable Justice S.A. Osaji, and my Lord, the judges and justices of the Court of Appeal. To all, please approach this wonderful table, Angel of Justice, Your Excellency. His Excellency will unveil the topmost copy.
That camera is off now.
The chairman of today's occasion,
See your camera now. Now we are supposed to catch this place now. I don't know what that to do.
The celebrants, Lord Justice Akomolafe-Wilson, Lord Chief Judge, all other dignitaries. It is with great delight and pleasure that I unveil this book titled Angel of Justice. And just listening to the reviewer, I believe it's a book everyone should read, particularly non-lawyers like me.
No. And your camera is not getting it. And this is the key point of the song.
Live and practice law the way I feel should.
Did they play? See, he's showing something. You are showing me. This one will show you. But
let me acknowledge the Lord.
you are missing. You are not discussing with your cameraman. This one about to go around that.
See that before the keyboard here to launch.
And this one I be the host. You're not supposed to go up. How you telling somebody something? No, we like to do it. They tell her.
Listen, that I don't know why, since I met her less than 3 years ago, I will not be able to resist any of her demands.
I didn't want this thing to happen.
So I told my brother, Governor of Real Estate, that look, you just come for the valedictory, I will come and do the really wanting. It's my distinct pleasure to unveil this book, and
price, the costs associated with producing the book.
So what happens to the charger?
Well, now
Who has this bag? Whose bag is
we will now
it? My own.
go
And your tap.
give it to other people to make
Left
it.
to left.
But I hear that there are enough copies. After I have taken 100 copies,
Those bags, there's no value
for
there.
5 minutes and I'm sure the Lord can I give you another 100 copies for the judges who are straight high court. I'm sure Adani will also want to reveal his own special way.
That I'm very proud. I don't tell chairman since we sit down for here. When these people be able to serve, and after I say I jack this thing, they do this thing. All the other press people sit down at the shop. Who is there? They run up.
For my students. But the back catalog will show you to read the list. You can find it to 50 with 2 million.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we can do better by putting our hands together for His Excellency, our dear Governor, and His Excellency, the Chairman of this occasion. Our Governor has launched 200 copies of this book for the cost of total production. Can you put your hands together for him? You know he's a financial expert. You can't beat him at any point. And he will do exactly as he has said. And of course, our chairman has elucidated in left corner by stating that the Canadian University has produced the youngest senior advocate of Nigeria. And in his honor, he's taken 50 copies for 2 million naira. Can you put your hands together? And so it is now formally open for all of us to identify with this great woman. Slips for donation have been inserted in every copy of the book. And there you are expected to write your name, the amount you wish to launch, your telephone number so they can contact you for appreciation and follow-up. And then you tick whether it's a cash, a check, a pledge. We have POS available if you have your ATM now. And if you wish to make a transfer, I can call the details now. The account is Zenith Bank. Account number 100 227 3678. And the account name is that of the celebrant. Thank you very much. As we get, we will acknowledge the Babonalemi acrobatic dancers from Eastern Land, the land where the celebrant got married. They are here in their numbers for entertainment. And so we will go straight to the launching now. As we get your name, we shall acknowledge in due course. And so the DJ will give us some snatch of music while the launching is on. Can we bring the book? The ushers, please come. So please bring down the music. We have
serious business to attend to here. Can we get the copies of the book? Ushers, please help us. Give our Leonard SAN, he has indicated interest to get one. Honorable Justice, yes, Justice of the Court of Appeal, Chief Judge, Edo State, other protocols duly observed. Ààrẹ Afẹ́ Babalola, OFRO, CON, SAN, directed me come to the launch. I personally launched this book on his behalf, and also to make payments here directly on his behalf. And he has also directed that I must read a speech prepared by him on his behalf, because my God, Honorable Justice Tinuade Akomolafe-Wilson, ASA, walked in his chambers. I now read his speech. It is my pleasure to represent Ààrẹ Afẹ́ Babalola SAN. It is the wish of Ààrẹ Afẹ́ Babalola to be personally present at this launch. However, preparing for the monumental African Lifetime Achievers Award will take place on the 5th day of December 2023. He has therefore asked me to mention Ààrẹ Afẹ́ Babalola SAN has a long association with Justice Akomolafe-Wilson, ACA. He through her father, a highly respected leader in Ekiti. She attended university there as a student. She was always eager to learn, while others spend their holidays abroad or in Nigeria visiting friends or attending parties. She spent all her holidays in my chamber between 1961 and 1964. Always looking forward to the day she used to return to chamber to learn more. She was never tired. She was very inquisitive and always asked questions. I was not surprised that she made a degree in university. After she obtained her first degree in law at the University, she went to the law school and later joined the University in Congo and United States of Nigeria. I'm proud to say he's one of the most respected lawyers